Just like to welcome all our stakeholders of E-Tech Resources Inc. to our interim webinar to discuss the company's recent news release regarding the acquisition of the contiguous license located next door to the Eureka project. I encourage all of you to read through our disclaimer, as I will be making forward-looking statements in this presentation. And I am also relying on experts and internal advisors with regards to our interpretation. The agenda for this interim presentation and update is to again remind you about the Eureka timeline and how far the company has come since we listed, to discuss our expanded land holdings and our mineral properties, outline some of the next steps the company will be taking, and hopefully highlight the investment potential the company has. Thereafter, if you have any questions, please feel free to contact the company on its website or organize a call with myself or the CEO for further explanations. So where has the project come from to date? Again, we started with exploration in early 2016. And we started with a small drill program and trenching program, which led to the identification and discovery of what we now call Zone 1, 2, and 3. In Q3 of 2021, we did a listing, a reverse takeover with Battery Road, and we are now listed as E-Tech Resources Inc. with the TSXV ticker of REE. We released our maiden inferred mineral resource of 310,000 tons at 4.8% TREO, with a high basket distribution towards neodymium and praseodymium. We have since been exploring the remainder of our exploration project at the time, EPL 6762, and have now started identifying further areas for further exploration. In Q4 of 2022, we established favorable geological characteristics, which led to the initial discovery of the Eureka zone deposits. Those four characteristics were widespread thorium activity, lithological or field evidence, structural areas of interest, and certain magnetic signatures. That led to the identification of 17 drill targets, and we started a phase 4 RC exploration drilling campaign at the end of November 2022, of which half of it roughly has been completed to date. And we're now in the process of doing composite geochemical sampling on all our historical RC drilling. This slide is a good demonstration to show where we've come from, where we are currently, and where we are going. On the left-hand side of the page, you see the original Eureka deposits, the Zone 1 to Zone 3 deposits, where our 310,000 tons at 4.8% TREO is sitting. We're also displaying some historical, some intercepts there that have been drilled by the company, using diamond and reverse circular drilling. The map next to it is showing our EPL 6762, and the backdrop on that is the high definition radiometric program that we completed in October of last year. So what we've done there is we've identified favorable characteristics. We then use those identifications, we use those characteristics to identify 17 new targets, of which work is currently ongoing. And that has led to us recognizing that the carbonatite emplacement is restricted to the Eureka dome, which is made up of Eutusis formation quartzites, which is a metasediment. That led to us acquiring the license next door. This understanding has led us to recognize that carbonatite emplacement is restricted to the Eureka dome, which is made up of the Tusis formation quartzites, which is metasediments. What you see now on your screen are the footprints of zone 1 to zone 4, which is the original discovery. Here's the outline of EPL 6762, and the purple outlines the newly acquired EPL 8748. Now you can see the purple dome, which is the Eureka dome. I'll put it back. The original license only covered about 20 square kilometers of the dome, so about 1/3. The remainder of the dome, about 2/3 of it, about 35 square kilometers, fell outside in the newly acquired license. E-Tech Resources now holds 100% of this dome, which we've identified to be a prospective area to host further carbonatite and monazite mineralization. Our team is busy with mapping and field exploration work, which is the backbone of any successful exploration project. And our team knows how to accurately and reliably collect critical data to make informed decisions to unlock the full potential of the Eureka project. That is why we use the latest tools and techniques to collect, analyze, and interpret data, ensuring that we're in the best position to make a decision. One of those tools was the recently purchased portable XRF, and this instrument allows the E-Tech technical staff to conduct continuous, result-driven, streamlined exploration. And that is positive from a turnover perspective, but also allows us to conduct exploration in a cost-saving manner. The newly acquired license has significantly increased the land position of E-Tech Resources in Namibia and gives the company 100% access to the dome. The original EPL 6762's area was 3,474 hectares, of which the Eureka discovery zones 1 to 3 formed about 1 square kilometer. The original EPL only covered 1/3 of the prospective dome. The newly acquired EPL 8748 has a size of 16,520 hectares and covers the remaining 2/3 of the dome, which equals to about 35.3 square kilometers. That gives a company a total project area now of 19,994 hectares and 100% access to the new dome. The dome is about 12.5 kilometers long from a northeast perspective and about 6 kilometers wide from a northwest perspective. That gives it an approximate size of 56 square kilometers, of which 1/3 fell on the original EPL and 2/3 fall on the new EPL. The next step from the company, we have contracted Excel Dynamic Solutions, an independent consulting firm based in Namibia that specializes in the natural resource sector, to submit our EIA and our EMP, which is required for an application of an environmental clearance certificate. During this time, we will be conducting a non-invasive exploration program, which includes desktop interpretation of government flown airborne and regional geophysical data, as well as doing some reconnaissance ground truthing. Until the ECC is awarded to the company cannot do any invasive exploration with that. The investment potential that we now have at E-Tech Resources is we identified the favorable characteristics of zone 1 to 3, which hosts the current Eureka deposits. From there, we were able to identify 17 targets that have similar presentations as the zone 1 to 4 targets, which require further work to understanding their potential. And you can see on this map here that they are all confined to that dome. we now have a larger surface area to look for areas that are presenting similar to the known Eureka deposit. And we look forward to conducting that work. The investment potential for E-Tech Resources now is we have a larger license area to conduct exploration in, and we are the first people to be looking at these areas with the understanding that we currently have and the learnings that we have learned from the exploration that we have conducted on our known Eureka deposit, as well as the new targets identified in the fourth quarter of 2022. As you can see on this map, we have an outline of the original EPL 6762 with the regional government airborne radiometric survey behind it. This is not of high enough quality or definition to identify areas, but we will be doing further non-invasive exploration desktop work to identify areas of interest for follow-up once we have the ECC. If I flick over to this map on the original EPL 6762, you can see a ground radiometric survey that was completed by the company in the third quarter of 2022. And you can see the difference in definition that you get from the ground radiometric survey compared to the airborne radiometric survey. Here's a map displaying the magnetic, the structural interpretation that we were able to conduct from the regional magnetic survey, as well as from the high definition WalkMag survey that the company conducted in the fourth quarter of last year. We expect to conduct this work on our new licenses.